now we are coming to the point where we came to the point where why we have to go down to the level of a servant of servant. And with approval of Cain, with approval of Cain, you have to come up step by step. That's important. With approval of Cain, come up from from servant to servant, and from servant to the adopted child, the adopted child to stepchild, stepchild to true child, and mother's position, and then finally a position of the father, and come into God. This is so-called 8 stages of restoration, vertical 8 stages of restoration course. In other words, this is the course of restoration, vertical restoration. Vertical restoration. It's not an easy task. In other words, to melt the heart of one person, actually you have to go through this entire course. And also, when you do the witnessing, also we have to go through the same course. Same course. Otherwise you cannot really create the life-to-life relationship with your spiritual children, spiritual child. When the connection is not so deep enough, then when anything, some little thing happens, some little trouble happens, that spiritual child will go away because the relationship is not so deep enough. That's why the issue we are now discussing is a so crucial issue for the development of our movement, and also for our own development of our heart, also development of or victory of your witnessing, also a victory of your own church or center if you are the leadership. This is a really essential part. Then now, how we can practice this? The vertical 8 stages of restoration course. There's another horizontal 8 stages of restoration course, as you know. Do you know that? Do you know, yes or no? First one, individuals. Next, family, tribe, society, nation, world, cosmos. The next. Then this is 7, just 7. God, or even scans the Satan. It's same. God and Satan. This means to bring Satan back to God. In this sense, even you can say Satan or God. It doesn't matter. Then substantially, then how can we actualize, put into practice this principle of restoration, of vertical 8 stages of restoration through our daily life or through our daily activities? That's a real thing we need to know and need to practice. Then if these 8 stages are also same as foundation for Messiah and receive Messiah, and going into, going through the completion stage and going into direct dominion. It's actually the same thing. And also, maybe as now might be real difficult to understand because I didn't explain the background, but anyway, it's the same as the restoration of the elder sonship and restoration of the parentship and restoration of kingship. These three are the same in terms of content. But anyway, that's okay. Then how can we practice these contents? As an able figure, if you want to come back to God, want to be accepted by God, if you just go back to God and knock the door of Heavenly Father's house, and knocking the door, Father, Heavenly Father, I'm back. Then he'll come, but he doesn't open the door. Instead, do you know what does he do? The little peep, looking at you, and see the Abel there, but doesn't open. Now, I don't know, it's Russian, in Russia. Recently in Japan, they're developing some even better system. If someone push a bell and ping pong, then inside the room there's a TV. Monitor comes and just the face of that person will appear right here. Then if you don't like, you can just cut off. If you like, you can invite in. But anyway, it doesn't matter whichever. Heavenly Father may use that one, or may use this one. Doesn't matter. Then make sure it is Abel, his own son. Then he just look around, but cannot find the elder brother there. Then say to Abel, hey, did you come? What happened to your brother, elder brother, Cain? Then Abel says, Father, I asked him to come back with me, but he didn't like to come back. That's why I came back just by myself. Then Father says, go back and bring him back. Otherwise, I cannot let you in. That's it. Get away. That's why Abel, if he really want to go back to Father's house, you have to bring your elder brother together. Do you understand what I mean? In other words, Abel cannot get into direct dominion God or whatever, cannot see God just by himself. First, you must unite with elder brother Cain. Otherwise, you cannot see the parents. This is a principle. You must restore the elder brother Cain. Otherwise, your parents will not welcome you. That's a principle. This is an important principle. Therefore, if you want to go back to God, you have to go into the Cain's dominion, or Cain's realm of Cain. That's why God is here and Abel is here. If he went back to God just by himself, God says no. That's why Abel must go into Cain's, the realm of Cain. Cain's dominion. You got Satan's dominion. Must go into Satan's dominion. Do you know the saying that if you want to get the baby lion, baby tiger, you must go into where? Tiger's den. It's okay? It's okay? Okay. Tiger's den. 虎穴にいらずんば孤児を得ず。わかる? Therefore, you have to go into this Cain's world. This means if you, this is kind of witnessing, okay? Same as the relation between leaders and members. In other words, if leaders really want, want to get the heart of members, you must really jump into the heart of Cain. Members, otherwise, you cannot merit the heart of members. Just sitting and giving directions, it doesn't work. It's the same thing. But in case of witnessing, you have to go out of the center, go out of your home, and go into the outside world. Otherwise, it is impossible to gain your own spiritual child. Because the spiritual child is in the Satan's dominion. That's why you must go into there and must grab him, take him back to God's side. Otherwise, you cannot gain your own spiritual child. Therefore, just sitting in the center and thinking how to witness and without doing anything, that's why action is necessary. Action is necessary. Sometimes, when some 300 or 500 people, sometimes I ask, among you, how many of you went out for witnessing the last 3 days? Then only 3 or 4 sometimes raise hand. They're not witnessing. That's why no result. Without witnessing, you cannot. If you don't witness, you can't witness. Do you understand this? If you don't witness, you can't witness. But this is the most important realization. The most important realization should be, the reason why I couldn't get spiritual child is what? I didn't witness. That realization, it must be very great. This is a great realization, but it's most fundamental and basic realization. But this is in many cases a reality. Why? we couldn't gain the spiritual children. This is a reason why the witnessing is not developing. Because we don't do, that's why we can't do. That's why I think Russian movement can break through this one point quick. Then how to do? Then going into this Cain's world, what should do? Then about this situation, I'm occasionally giving this testimony to many people, but it's of course I had many experiences, but this is not so new experiences. But nevertheless, it's very realistic and also very helpful to understand the meaning of this restoration course. That's why I can talk one more time here for you, my first time. When I was doing the tribal Messiah, not tribal Messiah, the home church activity in New York, there's one part of New York called Brooklyn. I had my home church area, and in the fall season, a lot of leaves falls from maple tree, and if the frost comes, the sidewalk become very slippery, and sometimes dangerous. That's why with broom I went and swept the sidewalk. Then one day when I finished my work, I saw one old lady was sweeping the staircase of the concrete staircase of her own house. Then now I understood what is the need of that old lady. Then when you want to witness or you want to take care of Cain, first of all, you must find out the needs of Cain figure. Needs. That there is sometimes internal needs and also external needs. If you can get into the internal need of that person, you can grasp the heart of that person so quick, all at once. That, for instance, pain of his life or suffering in his life, if you can have the capability to get into the pain or suffering in his heart, and if you can heal or cure or help out, that point, that person must be so happy, and you can grasp the heart of that person. But usually, they are not including special case. For instance, counselor, you are the counselor, or sometimes doctor. In that special professional case, maybe professionally you can get into that person's heart. But still, because since it's just profession and paying and asking money, that's why actually they are not deeply grateful for that. That's why even you can take care of internal aspect, still that relationship is not so deep. But in a regular, usual case, it's not so easy to get into the hidden part of that person. Therefore, inevitably, usually we can deal with external needs of that person. But in taking care of Cain fears, or in witnessing, it is the most important to find out the needs of that person. It's not so easy to really understand the need of that person. Even if you are living together with someone, maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, still, do you really understand someone's needs who is sitting by you, or who is living together with you? Even between husband and wife. Husband think he understands everything about wife, but actually wife is saying, my husband doesn't understand me at all. I said, it's very difficult to really understand the need of that person. But sometimes the need of that person is very, unprincipled. We cannot, agree with that point. But anyway, must find the needs of that person. If you want to witness your mother, then do you really understand the need of your mother? Not easy. Yeah, I know that the real need of the mother is to quit Unification Church. In that case, we cannot agree with that. That's a difficult point. It's easy to please mother if you quit the Unification Church, but it doesn't work that way. That's why you must find out another different approach. But anyway, in this case, the need of that lady is very clear, because she's cleaning the staircase. Therefore, I went there and offered help. Because just right, to say so, because her need is very clear. Then that lady just looked at me and said, "Yeah, do it." Yes. Then where to do? I asked. Then over there, she mentioned. This means there's maybe drive, the road where you can drive a car. Then here the next is like the sidewalk, maybe 3 meters broad, 3 meters, something like that. And there's a big maple tree, this big, and tall, and a lot of leaves fell already. And the front yard was just pile of the leaves of the maple tree. Okay. And now I cleaned that the leaves of the tree from the front yard. Then I said to the lady, "Grandma, it's okay? this okay? Then she looked, didn't say anything. Over there. No, even though I cleaned the front yard. Actually, there's fence of diagonal fence. I'd say there's the bush, the fence with bush, hedge. Oh yeah, hedge. There's a hedge. Because it's a kind of bush, therefore a lot of tree leaves are just like mingled or tangled inside. Then, oh yeah, that makes sense. Then leaving the broom behind, I went and picked up the leaves one by one, and totally cleaned perfectly. Then I came back to Grandma and said, Grandma, would that be okay? Then she looked. Then look. Here. She's saying the under the drum. This some oil. Drum. Oil. Who said drum can? No. Barrel can. Barrel. That's enough. Barrel. Then underneath the barrel, there are just some leaves peeping out. Then I understood. Then I tried to move that barrel, but it's so heavy because there's a lot of sand inside. Then I couldn't move. I couldn't lift it up. Therefore, inevitably I turned this way, and now, as she said, a lot of rotten leaves of the tree. Then I just swept and took the inside the barrel and turned back. Then said, Grandma, is that okay? Then Grandma didn't say anything. And she was looking. Go out and clean the sidewalk. Okay? Then I went out and began. But also, the lady also began to sweep the other side. Then I was watching how she did. Then if her house, the edge of her, this side, this like that, then this is the sidewalk, okay? Sidewalk. Then this is her house, end of her house. This is the neighbor. Then she began to clean exactly this side, only this side. And whatever, there's a lot of leaves and dust and junk there. Still, she didn't care. Just only her place. She began to clean. I was watching, this is it. I got her needs. Then I began from this side, perfectly, exactly the same way as that lady did. Even the neighbor is a mess. I didn't care, just from this side. I cleaned perfectly. Then when everything was over, I asked Grandma, said, Grandma, is that okay? Do you like it? Then she looked at that clear line. Now she was so inspired by that clear line. The other side is a mess. This said totally clean. She really liked it. And the first time she smiled a little bit and said, okay. And said, come back. And next time, clean my upstairs of my house. Do you know? This is the victory of my servant of servant level. Do you understand why? Because servant to servant, when we are in the stage of the servant to servant, I have nothing, no relationship with that lady at all. Actually, that time, even I die on the street, this lady didn't care at all, because no relationship. Even that old lady died in the house. I don't care, because I have nothing to do with that, in one sense. That's why no human relationship. Then, in order to restore that person, you must make human relationship with that person. In order to develop the human relationship, you must do something. Even you begin some fight on the street, you need to glare at someone. Then that person gets angry and begin to hit, and the fight begins. It's with common base. Now, give and take action of a fight will begin. But even not fighting, but even in the restoration, in case of restoration, of course, you have to begin the give and take action. Then how to start the bigger give and take action? Then to do this, actually, we must find the need of that person. Then now I found the need and feel the need of that person. Then she said, yeah, okay, then come back. And the next time you should clean my house upstairs. Do you know why it is a victory? This is a victory of the servant-to-servant level. Do you know why it is a victory? Because this is the beginning point, because she asked me to do something. This means, actually, no, this is not the relationship as master and servant to servant. But now I got into the human relationship of master and servant relationship. Of course, the lady is a master, I am the servant. The master can give direction to the servant, but servant has no say but saying yes. Just yes. And whatever is asked, servant must fulfill it. That's the next stage. Therefore, now I was victorious in the stage of the servant in relationship with that lady. You know, through this experience, the lady understood one thing. Lady understood one thing. If she, had got some relationship with one strange, tiny Chinese man. For Americans, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, same. They're all Chinese. That's right. She got some strange Chinese. But she found just one thing. In other by, making a human relationship with this Chinese, he doesn't lose anything. Instead, he got something good. That made her happy. Do you understand? She doesn't care who I was. She was happy only because of my offering, my work. And my work was plus to her. That's why she liked it. She wanted to keep or develop the relationship. If you can receive or get plus, do you like or you don't like? How about you? If you lose something and the result is minus, do you like or you don't like? It's very clear. It's the same all over the world. It's true with Russian people. It's true with Americans. It's true Chinese. True with anyone. Even it's true with dog and the cats. It's the same. Even the dog, if you get something to eat, he likes it. If someone goes and take his food from him, he gets angry. It's the same with even dog. That's a very simple and essential principle. If you get plus, you like it. If you get minus, you don't like it. That simple principle is very important to develop the human relationship. Now she got plus. That's why she was happy. Then now I graduated from the level of servant to servant with that lady. Then I went back to God and reported to God and said, Father, I got victory of the servant of servant in relationship with that lady. Then God says, if so, show me the diploma, the proof of the graduation from the school of the servant of servant with that lady. Then I opened the big one here. It says name, who so and so. This person in 1987, for instance, that got the victory over the servant of servant relationship with that lady. Proven by whom? That it's a big signature. Do you know whose signature it is? Right. Satan's sign. Said Satan. Approved by Satan. Then God says, is the real, genuine Satan's sign? Then I say, yes, Satan's sign. Satan's sign means the lady's approval is a Satan's sign. Then God says, so. God says, okay, if so, I too will sign. Then next by, the God does sign, God. First, Satan must sign up. Then God will sign. Then now this is a real victory of the servant of servant level. Then, now God asked me to go back to the lady one more time. That is lady. Old lady. One more time. Then says, now you should go as a servant. This is servant of servant. Then go as servant. Then now, because the lady is a servant, lady is a master, I'm servant. Therefore, I have relationship with that lady. Then even I can make phone call and say, Wednesday, 3 p.m., I can make time for you. Would that be okay with you if I went there, if I go there to clean you upstairs? And then the lady is happy and say, okay, come. Then I go to that house. Then when I go to that house, I must be very well prepared. I don't have to bring I don't bring an old broom anymore. I have to buy the brand new broom to clean the upstairs. And go, in other words, you must do something better than her expectation. This is a very important point. This is a very important point. If you do something as she expected, then she's happy, but that's it. No special impression or impact. But if you do less, then she'll say, oh no, you don't have to come back anymore, get away. That's it. No more relationship. No more relationship. But if my sweeping, my cleaning the upstairs is so impressive, then they will be so inspired or so impressed and say, wow. The victory depends upon how many wows I can get from that lady. That's the secret, how we can get through the master-servant relationship in short time. Say, that, for example, to understand this point more exactly. Okay, if you're blessed and you are starting a family, then you have many nice friends or brothers and sisters, then you expect, oh yeah, that person, maybe will give at least $50 level gift to congratulate you are starting a marriage. Then, when you receive open the contents, that doesn't seem $50. Maybe $10 or $15 worth. Then how do you feel? Oh no. Hey, such a thing. Don't you feel so? Externally say, oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. That's great. But deep inside. Oh, no. By doing so, your feeling toward that person become closer or distant. Closer or distant? Distant. But you expected $50 worth gift. But if you opened, it costs at least $150, 3 times bigger. Then you go to the department store and find out the same thing. What a price! Then, when you look at the price tag, exactly $150. Wow! Do you feel good with that person or not? You feel very good. Wow, he really cares for me. He loves me. Wow, I'm so happy. Then become so close. Your feeling becomes so close. Because it's more sacrifice. Then the more effect. That's why, to the extent how deep wows, how many wows did you get from that person, will decide how quick, how fast you can go through the servant course. Do you understand what I say? Then okay, in this lady's case, went up the expectation from that lady is to clean the upstairs, no more dirt, no more dirt, and clean up the spider's web and something like that, and put everything right, furnitures. Maybe some clean by mop. That's expectation from that lady. But when the lady came back, not only perfectly cleaned, but also there's some a strange part of the woods floor was changed a little bit, and I don't know English. Polished by wax, modern wax. Vanished. Is okay translation? Okay? Then just shining. And she was amazed. Wow. Then more than that, moreover, some nice fragrant smell comes to her. Wow, what that? Then now he sees roses, fresh roses in the vase. Wow. She was even such a stubborn, strange charactered person. So deeply touched. Then if we repeat this kind of situation a couple of times, when I say goodbye, I leave the house. Then all of a sudden, the new feeling dawns on her. that it is good to be cleaned and to have such a nice smell. But by the way, who he is. I never met such a person in my life. What kind of person this little tiny Chinese is? She becomes so curious. In other words, she is much more interested in me, no more not cleaning the street or cleanness of the street or cleanness of the upstairs or the good smell of the roses. More than that, she is much more interested in me. If I can come into that level, this is a graduation from the servant level. From the servant level. And we are now, I'm getting into the stepchild. Stepchild. During the story of the hen that laid the golden egg, you know the story. And while in the beginning, master was just interested in the eggs, only golden eggs. That's a value for him. And if his feeling is still in that level, if that hen cannot lay egg anymore, is there any value in that hen? No value. Then what does the master do? Yeah, maybe next day, next evening, the chicken soup become chicken soup. That's it. This is the master-servant relationship. Even the capitalistic social system is this level. The employer and the employee is a master-servant relationship. It's just contract. If the result accomplishment is good, you can receive more wages and the position will rise. But if you can't make any good result, your wages will slow down and finally you will be fired. The system doesn't care what happened to the family. It's cool, a cold system. That's why a capitalist social system cannot be the ideal system at all. No love, in true sense. Maybe communism was not a solution to this world. But capitalist social system itself also cannot be the ultimate solution to this world either. Must be family. The world must be family. Then now I'm getting into the adopted child level. Then I come back to God and say, Father, I graduated from servant. Then God says, show me the graduation, diploma of the graduation. Then I shall same way. Then Father, God says, is that Satan's, not servant, just servant. Then the Satan sign? Yes. Then I sign. This way, I can now graduate from the school of a servant. in relationship with that lady, then God says, you should go back one more time. As adopted child. Then I can go to that house. But this time, of course, if I bring flowers and roses or blooms, surely it works, of course. But even I didn't have that kind of thing, still I'm welcomed because she is really interested in me. What kind of person I am? That's a question. Then now she began to open her heart and begin to talk to each other. Then after talking many things, if I proposed that, Grandma, are you just alone? Yeah. If so, how do you think? Would that be okay if I take my wife and cook here? And why don't you have a nice dinner together? Such a stubborn lady smiles a little bit. Yeah, maybe. Grandma, what kind of food do you like? American food? Chinese food? Yeah. How about Japanese food? Have you eaten the Japanese food ever? No. You know, Grandma, Japanese food is so good. Really? Then, yeah, because my wife is also Japanese, that's why she's an expert of the Japanese food. Oh, yeah, okay. Then now, the promised. Then my wife and myself bring rice cooker, rice, vegetables, and all kind of things. And from the beginning, sashimi doesn't work. You don't know sashimi, no? Raw fish. You don't know, Russians don't know. Even Americans didn't know so well, but now Americans like a lot. And sushi. Also, some like, some don't know yet, but most Americans now really like sushi. But anyway, safe one is like tempura or teriyaki. You don't know. Maybe some Japanese sister can cook for you someday. I don't know. Then this is very safe and very pleasing, very tasty. Different taste from Russian food. Then, now my wife came and cooked everything. Then the lady is so happy. Then starts dinner. Lady is so happy and talking this kind of thing, little bit. Then all of a sudden she stopped even eating. And I looked at the lady. The tears are running. Grandma, what happened to you? You didn't have such a time, long time. Then if this lady is just a young lady, maybe was even burst into tears. But this stubborn lady, difficult to do so. But still shedding tears. And now, first time, open the heart and begin to talk. Actually, when I married to husband. Husband was so wonderful man, and I was so happy. But that happiness didn't last. One day, my husband died by the accident. At the time, I had 3 kids. And only because of kids, to raise kids, I worked so hard, day and night. And the kids grew up. But my eldest son, Tom, he didn't like me, in spite of my love. And he found some young woman whom I didn't like. And he wanted to marry. I said no. Then he just got angry. And he left my house and went nowhere. It was 13 years ago, but no news, no relationship since that time. And second boy, also he didn't like me, and went somewhere just by himself. And 3 or 5 years ago, looks like he married by himself, but nothing. The last one is a girl. But I really loved her. But eventually, she didn't like stay and went out. Since that time, already 7 years, I have been alone. But she accuses the children, but she doesn't know how terrible character she has. The real reason why children didn't like. But anyway, she cries and cries and cries. Then we say, Grandma, it is impossible to be here together with you always, but I can come back occasionally, and let's have more dinner together. Maybe next time Chinese dinner. Next time Korean dinner. If we repeat this kind of thing a couple of times, 3, 4 times, then when we say, after the nice dinner, we say goodbye, then what kind of feeling does that grandma feel? This person is much better than my own sons and daughters. What does it mean? Now I'm better to her. I'm much better than her own children. Then what is my position now? What is my position? Servant? Now, true sons, true child, better than her own true children, her own children. That's why a true son's position, true child position. In the same way, I can graduate this adopted son stage is already over. Then I'll go to the true son's position. Then if the lady begin to feel, maybe lady cannot live so long. Then if she had a property, house for instance, okay, if she sold that house, maybe can get money or that $200,000. something like that. Also, in her bank account, there are another $500,000. Then altogether, $700,000. Then, if she wants to write a will, in whose name do you think does she want to inherit the property? To her own child or me? Must be me. Because this inheritance means the position of true child. When the relationship comes up to this level, then she can give anything she has. She wants to do anything if I want. If the relationship comes to this level, if I ask her to come to a 2-3 days workshop, no problem. No problem. She's not a stupid person. She's wise. She's a clever person. There's no problem. She can understand and finally understand who true parents is. Then accept true parents. Then I can become parental position now. It's reversed, and she become my daughter's position. Then with parental love, I still really take care of that person. Then she feels deep in her inside. I've never seen, I met with such a person like this strange Chinese man who takes care of me with sincere heart. Then she feels, I can't leave this person anymore. Wherever he goes, I want to go. Whatever he asks, I want to do. Doesn't matter, house, bank account, I don't care. I need that person. That person is the most important to me. This little Chinese is most important to me. If that situation becomes reality, how to think? Then I cannot leave her, and she cannot leave me. The love between two, as parents and children, will never be broken. Whatever may happen, even death cannot separate the relationship. This is a victory of the restoration of elder sonship. This is a real victory as able figure. As able figure. In relationship with members, in relationship with witnesses. This story, the half the true story, another half is a fiction. Doesn't matter, but still it doesn't matter. Did you got the point? How to get through this vertical 8 stage of restoration course with one person. Of course, wherever a good relationship comes, of course, if necessary, you can give lecture and you can ask to come to listen the seminar, whatever, doesn't matter, if only that person can agree. But nevertheless, this is how to go through this 8 stages restoration course. In your witnessing in the past, did you go through this? Did you go through this kind of way or not? Did you apply this kind of principle of restoration? Did you know how to apply this principle? And did you do that in the past? Yes or no? Usually we didn't do that. We didn't know and we didn't do. How do you think? In Russia, I don't think there's so terrible persecutions. As if you have some friends or whoever, friends or family or relatives, or someone who contacted you on the street, doesn't matter. Don't you think if you find a very good person, possible person, the prepared person, if you can find 3 people, do you think you can find pretty good 3 contacts? Do you have or no? Do you have at least 3 contacts in your witnessing or not? Yes? No? How many of contacts do you have? 10? 12? 3? 1? 0? I don't know what's happening here. But I don't think it's so difficult to make contact even on the street here. Difficult? Not so difficult. Not so difficult. If so, if we can find the right person and create such a relationship with you, this way, finding the needs and serving that person and melting that person's heart, and to the extent they feel so good with you, and that person feels, I never seen such a person in my life. This person is the most precious person to me in my life. If you yourself can come to this point, do you think that person will leave you? And if you bring them to the workshop, surely no problem, they can become very wonderful members. Don't you think so? Don't you think so? How do you think if you can change the way of witnessing this way from what we have been doing, change the method of witnessing this way? Actually, when I went back to Japan from America, I was so surprised. One, there were so many members. I was so amazed. Tens of thousands of good members. But gradually, I realized one more point. Nevertheless, they are not spiritually grown up enough. Why? I have been wondering. Then I realized the witnessing system is like the mission. The first mission is someone to pick up the person on the street, to bring that person to the video center. And next mission, someone else take responsibility and to decide a course. This means pay a lot of money and come to the course of the contents divine principle. Then that person goes to the video center. Then another person will take care of next stage. Another person will take care of next stage. Then 2 days, 7 days, different person take care. Then finally, going through the entire course. As a product of the mass production system, the spiritual parents can receive the spiritual child as a product of a system. That's why relationship between spiritual parents and children are so weak. That's why some difficulty comes, they go away. And even spiritual parents goes, they don't respond. Because no life-to-life relationship was made. I was shocked. It's a kind of shame to say these things here for me and as a Japanese. But I'm daring to say so because you shouldn't go that way. System is important. Organization is important. Because more important thing is life-to-life relationship. At the price of life, I want to save this person. I really want to make this person happy in true sense. I want let this person know true parents. And I want let this person receive the blessing. And finally, I want go into kingdom heaven with this person. With tearful prayer, you invest yourself completely to that person. Sometimes you cannot give lecture to that person so well, but without sleeping, you can prepare the lecture of the chapter 2. Next day, you give a lecture, but the lecture is a mess. That person cannot understand what you're saying. But that person is really moved by your effort under your eyes. Your eyes are totally red because you didn't sleep last night. Then because that person is really inspired by your investment, without sleep, prepared without sleeping. Then that person go to the official workshop, and from a lecturer, that person receives a very clear presentation of the chapter 2 contents. Then now that person understands, this is what my spiritual mom wanted to tell me. That's enough. Do you understand what I mean? Doesn't matter what kind of lecture you may give. That sacrificial love will move the heart of that person. But if you repeat these kind of things, also you yourself can become a good lecturer. Don't you think so? That's right. This way, first of all, you can grow up a lot, first of all. This is the greatest, merit of this way of witnessing. Greatest merit. And next, because of investment, the life-to-life relationship is built. Therefore, your spiritual children will never leave you. Whatever difficult may happen, when that person think of you, and you are still going on the suffering course, that person cannot leave you. And especially if you go and see to that person, even see that person was almost leaving, as soon as that person sees you, that person cannot live anymore. And also, as you know, child does not listen, does not do what parents ask to do. But children do whatever parents are doing. Do you know this principle? That's why if you are raised by your spiritual parents through such an investment and life-to-life relationship, then you will do the same thing to your spiritual children. And this sacrificial love, or true love, become the tradition of this movement. Tradition of this movement. You can grow up the members will never leave. Traditional love will be established. Then this becomes a big plus, huge plus, because everyone is looking for love. The huge plus. Then the people around you, or people of the entire nation, will be attracted by this movement called unification movement. And a lot of people will begin to come, and they will never leave. Does it make sense? This is my proposal to the Russian movement. This is a core of my proposal to the Russian movement. Okay, today's session is over. The last point, did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you.